RedZoneSports.bet, the British home of American sports.
Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of the SportsHeads NBA edition, sponsored by RedZoneSports.bet. You are watching our Shot Clock episode. I'm getting so good at this.
Professional.
Tongue twisters no more.
No, so last year.
Because we're holding up signs. That's because we're holding up signs.
Yeah. I still don't think that would help. My name is Tori anyway, and I'm accompanied with Steve and Nick.
Hello.
So if you haven't watched this episode before, this is our Shot Clock episode, which is a 24-second round. I'm going to ask the guys a couple of questions. They have 24 seconds to give me their answers and reasons why. So I'm going to start off with, as we usually do, your game of the past week. So Steve, I'm going to come to you first.
Yeah, right before the New Year festivities, Lakers against the Rockets, I actually thought they wanted to take this game actually over into New Year's Day. Yeah. Double overtime, tremendous game. I mean, Harden left the game with a hamstring injury, unfortunately, but then Chris Paul stepped up. We talked about this on our news show about, what Paul might mean to the Rockets with no Harden there. 15 of his 28 points in overtime, back and forth battle. Overtime game's always fun. Loved it. Tremendous game.
Beautiful.
It was a very good game.
What about you? Did you have a different game?
I did go with a different game. I went with the Cavs at Utah. It was a good game. It was LeBron's 33rd birthday. Again, I like games that are, something different about them. So you had that, but it was really for Donovan Mitchell, the rookie, who had a great game and I feel outplayed LeBron, especially down the stretch. And this is weird. It's that LeBron's 7th straight loss to Utah, which is weird. Just a team you can't figure out. But yeah, no, it was a good game. But I think it said a lot more for Donovan Mitchell stepping up.
There you go.
That is literally one of those quirks, isn't it? In sports, where certain teams or whatever players
got your
can't
number.
beat other teams.
Yeah. Do you think it's more of a mindset thing, though?
No, I mean, it's coincident, but we always have these things in all sports, like quirks that teams, for whatever reason, should beat each other.
I feel like there must be
Just
partially
random.
like a mental
Yeah,
block.
it could be some. Maybe it's all the nightlife in Utah. LeBron, gets distracted by.
Crazy.
Yeah, there's a weird thing. He did actually come out and said that. He said something like, when I'm said and done, I don't think my career is going to be defined by the losses to Utah. Which I kind of thought was a bit of a dig, but...
He hopes.
Yeah,
He hopes.
Wait for a finals match.
There you go.
Then looking at League Pass games of the coming week. So Nick, I'm going to come to you to begin with.
Okay. My one, I'm going to go Saturday. It's the Pelicans at the Timberwolves. Kind of as discussed, I like this should be a nice physical battle. You got the big men from both sides, which I like the work down low kind of thing. Any kind of game where you got stuff like that. So for me, I don't know if it'll be the prettiest game, but I think it's going to be physical and intense because they're both fighting for that playoff seeds.
There you go. What about you?
I'm staying with the Timberwolves actually as well on Monday against the Cavs, two of the top teams in their conferences right now. And one thing I think about is like Tibbs' teams don't shoot the three well, and the Timberwolves are also not shooting it that well. Right near the bottom in three-point attempts, right near the point in three-point percentage. But they are two of the better teams in the NBA shooting-wise. Butler against LeBron, always going to be fun. But I've got the Timberwolves winning this one at home.
Nice. I'll go with you there. I'll take that.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's going to be. But
You guys, new year and
No,
you're in
this
agreement.
is ridiculous. I know.
Won't last.
No.
So obviously
Yes, it will. No, just kidding.
Oh, no, it won't.
What is it? We're out of Panther. Oh no, we're not out of Panther season yet.
Not yet.
Not just
Give
yet.
it to the weekend.
So as we no longer have Tori's bracket section of the show, I'm going to ask guys a couple more questions just to make sure that they've got their mind switched on. So I'm going to start by asking you your Eastern Player of the Week, or Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
For me, DeMar DeRozan, 52 points and overtime win against the Bucks. I mean, topped his preseason high from previously.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it, 45 back at the beginning part of December? It looks like he can now knock down a three, and seems he's doing that very well. But 35 points last night against the Bulls, averaging 37.3 points per game as well over the last week. For me, easy choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually want to go for someone else, just to point counterpoint, but it's hard to go against DeRozan in this one. The 52 points was, huge, and he's just playing incredible basketball right now. So as much as I wanted to, I've got to agree with you. Can't pick anyone else.
And that's completely fair.
Ron Baker? No.
Because he's such a good team spirit.
This is it.
Bless
Fall
him.
of the week.
Warrior. So Nick, I'm going to come to you for Western. conference.
Well, this one surprised myself when I was looking into it. I was thinking that Donovan Mitchell was a rookie, right? But there's too many losses this week. But so I'm going to go with another rookie, and this is going to surprise you, Dennis Smith Jr. For Dallas. The guy is incredible. And they beat the Pelicans, he had a triple-double. Beat the Thunder, he had 19, 4, and 6. And they lost by 3 to the Warriors, in which he played really well. And he's not playing like a rookie. Remember in previous episodes, I was saying I was happy with our draft pick, which I am, but I would have rather had Dennis Smith now looking at. I love Frank, but you can't go against Dennis Smith. So you may have been right on this one.
We might have gone a little bit over time,
well,
but you were getting quite passionate. And
I was agreeing with it.
Is that a
credit where credit's due.
I told you so.
I'm still happy with what we got, but
you should be happy with what you got. But I mean, Dennis Smith was a guy coming in that Mavs were incredibly happy to have.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Understandably so. I wonder if he's as happy.
Yeah, the rookie class for me. Just before we get to my player of the week, I think the rookie class has actually had some really pleasant surprises. Yeah. I think a lot of people, coming in, it's very much about Lonzo Ball, very much about Markel Fultz.
It's not been quite.
It's not been about
either one of them.
No,
yeah.
And it's been about some of the other guys. I mean, like Mitchell. I mean, who would have thought he'd adjusted to the NBA as well as he's done? I mean, obviously, he's had the opportunity there. I mean, the guy Collins down in Atlanta, who I'm very high on. I mean, he's been tremendous for them. Dennis Smith Jr. I think there's bargains in the draft.
Yeah.
And I think
to be fair, some of the most talked about players right now over the last couple of weeks, anyway, have been rookies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for me. It's not a great draft. Don't get me wrong. It's not a game-changing draft, but there is value there, and we're seeing some pleasant surprises.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, would you have the same? Or would you have a different Western player?
No, Western Conference Player of the Week for me is Lou Williams. 32 points per game in his last 3 games, 40 on New Year's Day. I mean, he's doing this all off the bench, and the Clippers are now on a winning streak. That's how much he's affected them right now. We talked about them being sellers, trying to get rid of DeAndre Jordan, and now all of a sudden they may stay pat, I think. They've lost Austin Rivers as well, and Williams picked up even more of the slack, 61% true shooting percentage, Player of the Week.
There you go.
Can't argue. Well, I can, but I won't.
No. I was going to say
it's good
argument.
Right now.
Yeah.
Fair argument. So that brings us to a close of this week's Shot Clock episode. I said it right, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's coming out so fluid now. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. And until then, have a great week. See you later.
You gotta keep your eye on the ball, boys. Check out our latest hoops offer. RedZoneSports.bet, the British home of American sports.